What qualities are you looking for in a calabat cocoa bean?
So first of all, Kirsten, we are shipping the beans, macro beans, in jute bags for a couple of reasons. First of all, we buy beans that are traceable. Secondly, by shipping the beans in jute bag, we have full traceability. We know exactly which bag comes from which farmer with whom we are working. Third, to protect the beans much better.
You say main crop beans. Are there different qualities in cocoa beans?
The typical main crop beans is actually that they are very nice and big.
And this is the best?
And this is the best.
How do you ascertain the quality of the bean?
So first of all, we take a look at the beans. We use our eyes, we use our senses. Then we grab the beans. We knisper them a bit. If you hear them nice knispering, this means they are really dry. That's a good thing. And then secondly, we smell them. You should smell only cocoa. If you smell something different, that's not good. After we were looking and smelling and feeling the beans, the next check is actually the cut test. So we are going to check if the beans were well fermented. We are using a guillotine for this. So this actually means we put some beans in there.
And what's best practice? How long should they ferment for?
Normally it's around 5 days that the beans are fermented, and then they are dried until they have a moisture content below 8%. The fermentation is actually developing your taste. So during the fermentation, something which is white, a non-fermented bean without really a good flavor, is then developing the real cocoa flavor. So we cut the guillotine.
How many beans for calabat do you test every year?
So for calabat, we're cutting like this about 180,000 beans per year. And if you now look at them, and the first thing you do is you need to smell. So they are smelling completely different as in the warehouse. And the second thing we are doing is actually we are checking if the beans are well fermented. So for example, these brown beans, they are really well fermented. We have a few violet beans, which is no problem because they are also giving you some taste. But we are looking to see if we have moldy beans, which in this sample is not in there because the beans were checked several times up front. And we're also checking if the beans are slaty. Slaty means non-fermented. So in this case, in this sample, everything looks fine. So Kirsten, after the check of the fermentation, the last thing we're going to do is to check the flavor profile of the beans. So we take some beans, we put them in this grinder. We grind them for a few seconds. Now I give you the honor to open it and to smell it.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's now that you really smell the full flavor profile of the beans. And it's here that we finally decide in which blend we're going to use these beans.
After the last quality checks, the cocoa beans depart to Calabat's small hometown, Wiza, in Belgium, where the journey continues from bean to chocolate.